Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Heather. I am the owner and author behind townsendhouse.com, where I help you implement systems and strategies in order to overcome the chaos and cultivate simplicity in your home and homeschool. If you are not subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you are notified each time I make a new video. Today we are here for the long-awaited 2021 PowerSheets from Cultivate What Matters. I am so excited about these PowerSheets. I have the sea glass cover. This year has been so crazy for me. I know it has been crazy for everybody, and I really am looking forward to a new year in my PowerSheets. So what I'm going to do is turn the camera around and do a complete walkthrough for you. I did not spend a lot of time in the PowerSheets before I'm filming this because I wanted you to have my honest first thoughts. I did write down a few of the major changes that I noticed, and I'm really excited to share them with you. So here is the 2021 PowerSheets Goal Planner. This is the sea glass cover. You have 4 cover options this year. First is the sea glass, then pink sunrise, clear skies, or citrus garden. Now this is the same tone as the cover that I got last year, which I can't remember the name of off the top of my head, but it's much more muted, and it really is very pretty. One of the first changes that I noticed was that the coil itself is actually smaller this year, and then they have rounded corners instead of the sharper corners that were on the PowerSheets last year. And then when you open it up, you will see this pocket. This pocket they had last year as well. It is not very big, and you can't really put a whole lot in it. You can stick like the last page of your sticker book in here if you want that in here. If not, you could put like a postcard, or your tending list actually might fit in here. I don't have one that is out at the moment to test that, but that might be an option as well. There are several changes this year. I haven't looked through the PowerSheets too much because I do want to give you my honest first thoughts of the PowerSheets this year, but I did notice that there are fewer pages. Last year there were 178 pages, and this year it only has 160 pages. So I think some of the prep work has really been streamlined, and I think that's a good thing. I think it's a little bit easier to go through. I know that a lot of people have trouble with the prep work because it is so introspective and deep and lots of questions. So the first sheet that you see is It's Time for Your Fresh Start 2021, and then it has a place for where you put your name. And then you flip to the next page and it has your sticker sheet. These are really pretty gold foil stickers. I don't know that they have changed them that much. There might be a couple new little stickers, but for the most part they look just about the same to me. And then you're going to move into 2021 goal ideas. And this is just a place for you to brainstorm things that you have been thinking about that you want to change for 2021. I know that 2020 has been a crazy year for everybody, so a lot of the things that you may have planned for 2020 may be moving to 2021 instead. So you'll notice that there are a lot of pops of color throughout the planner this year, and I really think it's pretty. It just helps to sort of give you an idea of separation of ideas throughout the prep work and the planner itself. So this says comparison isn't just the thief of joy, it's the thief of everything. And then it gives you some ideas on how to figure out who you are and what's important to you. The About Me section is pretty similar, I think, to last year. Check boxes plus a few lines for you to put some extra notes about things that are specific for you as a person. What makes you come alive? This is about trying to figure out what your passion is and thinking about what makes you come alive. What is the thing that keeps you going each day? You want to note that. And so on the what fires me up section, you're going to write down all of your passions and loves, the things that really define you as a person. And then you're going to move into the cultivated life evaluation. And last year, the colors were a little bit different. Not that the colors were different, but the category color was different. I know like finances, I think, was this orange color last year. And so this was what I mean. There is no solid block of color here, which I actually really appreciate. I would prefer to write on white rather than a color. It does still give you plenty of space, the same amount of space to do that cultivated life evaluation. And just go through each one and give yourself a grade and how you think you're doing. And then you're going to move into this page of good things and challenges. Now, last year, there was a good things and challenges page, 2-page spread, but then there was also a 2-page spread for people I'm grateful for and lessons I learned. So this is one of the areas where they have reduced the space to write out that information, but it is still in here. And actually, I think that that's probably a good thing. There are a lot of people that I'm grateful for and lessons that I've learned, but to use an entire page to write that out isn't always necessary. And I think that that's I think when they have a lot of space to write things down, that can sometimes be a challenge when you're going through the prep work because you want to fill up all of the space. You feel like you need to have something for every line, and you don't. So combining those two spreads, I think, was a good idea. So this is Get Ready to Break Free, and this really just talks about how to get rid of those self-limiting beliefs. When we set goals, we want to know that we are capable of accomplishing them. Yes, sometimes it can be a struggle. Anything that's new and different is going to be a struggle, but we don't have to tell ourselves that we're unable to do it because of something in our past or because of some habit that we have had in the past. So I really like this spread. I think that knowing what those self-limiting beliefs are and making yourself aware of them to change them is really important. And then over here it is who I really am, and I'm moving past fear. It says fear will try to hold us back, and it definitely does. We want to make the changes that we want to make, and having fear that we cannot make those changes is not great. So I think that writing those down and just being aware of those types of fears and self-limiting beliefs will really help you to move forward. Feel like life is flying by. And it talks a little bit about distractions and time management and things that sort of distract us throughout the day. If you're not making an active choice, you are still making a choice, but you want to make active choices. You don't want to make passive choices. And sometimes when we feel overwhelmed or like there's so much going on, we tend to go towards passive choices rather than active choices. So this just gives you a chance to figure out if you are doing that as well. And then the big picture, what will have mattered, what won't have mattered, and who do you want to be? Knowing who will matter to you, describe the kind of person you want to be. What do you want to be known for? What is your legacy? Defining this will give you motivation and passion for living out this identity now with your 2021 goals. Write out some thoughts. I think that's a great idea because when we look back on our lives, obviously what is important changes. When you think about the past 10 years, what is important to you today is probably very different than what it was 10 years ago. So if you think to the end of your life and what will be important, it will help you to build towards that importance now rather than waiting. Then you have a space for my cultivated year. And this is where you will flip back to some of the previous pages and mark out things that stand out to you. And then you have a my yes and no list, which I think is super important. Knowing what you are going to say yes to and what you're going to say no to, it's good to have that as a list, because once you write it out, it's going to be at the front of your mind. You know what is important to you, and so it releases some of the guilt that you feel, especially when you're saying no to something or when you're saying yes to something. It's easy to get bogged down by others' feelings, but realizing that you cannot make other people happy, you can only make yourself happy, that makes it a little bit easier when you are trying to write out this yes and no list. And then it says, dreams become decisions when you cultivate them, and imagine it your best year. And it has some lines and reference pages throughout some of the prep work to figure out how to fill this page out. That's a good idea, because I know that sometimes when you're going through, not to have, if you don't have reference pages, they didn't have these reference pages last year. To know what you should put on the line can sometimes feel a little overwhelming because you want it to be the right thing. And so if you don't know what you're looking for, it can put you off a little bit. And then it has, you know what you want to cultivate, so let's do something about it. And it helps you to sort of set goals. It gives you some ideas and how to break down your goals, which is probably the hardest part of goal setting, because when you're thinking about goals, you're thinking about an entire year of things that you want to accomplish. And sometimes that overarching goal might just seem so far away. I read the book, The 12-Week Year, several years ago, and that really helped solidify my ideas of 90-day goal setting. So I look at my goals for the year as themes, things that I want to work on, and it usually is very closely related to my word of the year. My word of the year tends to be a theme for the year, and so when you think about that overarching theme of how you want your year to go, and then look at your goals in 3-month chunks, it seems a little bit more manageable to me personally. And there are still the seasonal refresh for each of the seasons throughout the year. So then you get to give yourself space to flourish, simplify your year, and really evaluate what your goals are. If they are deeply connected to your why, that is a big part of goal setting. You need to know that the goal is connected to your why. If it's not, you may still be able to accomplish that goal, and it might be something important to do, but it's not going to have the same weight as something that really connects to your why. Then you're going to take some time to do a rough draft of your yearly goals. There are spaces for 8 goals in this goal planner, and then there is space each season to refresh those goals. You don't have to have 8 goals. You can have 2 goals. You could potentially have more. If you're going to have more goals, I would think that they might be more like mini goals, and instead of like a yearly goal. You don't want to have too many that you can't accomplish them, but it is okay to have several goals for different areas of your life. So then you get to my yearly goals, and there is space right here for those goals. I think last year this was actually a 2-page spread that you had a little bit more room, like 4 goals on each page, but I might be wrong. I think I'm right though. And then you have space for a vision board. I don't necessarily do this. I know that some people will use Pinterest for a vision board, and I actually love doing a vision board, but I do mine on a huge piece of poster board every year, and my kids all do one as well. It's a fun January activity when we get back to our homeschool year. So I don't actually use this, but this is a great place to, put pictures of family or friends or things that you want to do or places that you want to go, so that it is right there, or maybe, some encouraging words or things that you want to remember throughout the year. Then if you want change, choose it and then choose it again. Make a list of a few possible words that resonate with you. This is all about choosing your word of the year. And then over here, it has a place for you to write your word of the year and why you chose this word. Usually there are little postcards in with the PowerSheets for your word of the year so that you can write it on a card and put it somewhere that you see it every day. I did not get those this year, and I'm not sure if my planner just did not have them or if they are not using them or giving them this year. So, but there is place for your word of the year here. I have no idea what my word is going to be this year. I am really excited to get into my PowerSheets and go through all of the prep work because it's time. It's time for 2020 to be done. Then it's time to bloom where you're planted. How do you grow a garden? You tend it little by little, and then it gives you a little bit of information on mini goals and why you want to have some mini goals and action steps. And then you move into the action plan pages. Last year they had a 2-page spread of action plan, how to set action plans in the goal planner, but they don't have that this year. They do have this little pamphlet that came in, and it tells you what you get with this purchase. And some of the things are PowerSheets video coaching, and there's a private community on Facebook. So that might be where the information for the action plans, how to set these action plans is now. But it is a little bit different. It says yearly goal, the why, resources needed. This goal aligns with my big picture, yes, no list, or word of the year. What success looks like, what might happen if I don't start or make progress on this goal, the people who will be positively affected by this goal, and how I will have fun with this goal along the way. And then you're going to go up here and write down some mini goals. What mini goals will help you make progress on the goal between now and the end of 2021? You want to brainstorm ideas and action steps to get you from here to completion, and then choose a mini goal for the first quarter, January through March, and you write that here and the action steps. And so you have an action plan for each of your 8 goals. Like I said, you do not have to have 8 goals, but it does give you space to do action plans for each of those goals. Then you're going to come to the yearly overview, and it is broken up by quarter, and you can just write down your mini goals, action ideas, important things that are coming up for the year ahead. It really can be used any way that you want to use it. And this is very similar to previous years, the yearly overview. And then it does tell you about the wildcard library that you have access to when you purchase the goal planner. So that is another thing. I have not really used a lot of those. Sometimes I'll do like a brain dump or a reading list. But for the most part, I haven't really printed those out, but they are available when you purchase this. Then you're going to move into the tabbed sections. And one thing I noticed when I got this was that there are not tabs for the goals and the action plans, and there are not tabs for your seasonal refresh. Instead, the seasonal refresh is behind the month that it would come in. So it's behind like April and July and then September, I believe. And we will go through those as we go through the rest of the planner. So you start out with the prepare well section, important to-dos I'm excited for, on my mind, I'm hopeful that. And then you move into the calendar, which was a new thing last year. I know that some people will try and use this as a planner. I write out too many things for this to work as my only planner, but I do like to have the calendar here because it helps me to set intentions for each week to make progress on my goals. And I also am able to say when I have time to work on my goals, if there are times that I want to make sure that I'm checking in on my goals. I know Tending List Tuesday is a big thing with Cultivate What Matters. If there are important things that need to happen by a certain date, I will also put those here. But this calendar I use primarily for goals. It doesn't have, appointments or anything else in it. It's just goals. And then also birthdays, because any place I can put people's birthdays is a good idea for me, because I tend to put off birthday planning, and I really shouldn't do that. Then it does have this how to make a tending list. This is not in every month. This is just in the January tab, but it gives you ideas on how to do color coding, considering your calendar, using stickers, focusing on the important things. All of that is right here. And this is very colorful. It was not like this last year, so this is a really pretty addition. And then you move into brainstorm your month, monthly ideas, weekly ideas, and daily ideas, and then your tending list. Now this has changed a little bit as well. You still have 10 lines for the monthly action items, but the weekly and daily action items actually changed a little bit. The weekly action items now have 6 instead of 8, and then the daily are 7 instead of 5. And so it gives you space for all of the things that you need to do. Monthly action items are obviously things that, a bigger project that you need to get through. Weekly action items, something you have to do each week, maybe a budget meeting, or, it really could be anything, actually. And then daily action items or habits. These are things that you want to cultivate throughout the month. Things like having a good morning routine, or drinking water, or reading your Bible, or journaling, that kind of stuff. Something that you want to check off each day throughout the month to make it a habit. And then last year, on the back of the tending list was a space for you to tape in a wildcard page, but they've taken that away, and so now on the back of the tending list is your month in review. It's people I'm grateful for and why, good things, what I read or listened to, goals that are growing well, favorite memories, I'm choosing grace over guilt about, and then I'm saying no to, and I'm saying yes to. I love filling out these month in reviews. I think they are probably one of my favorite parts of the goal planner, because I love memory keeping. And so thinking back over my previous month, what worked and what didn't, is something that I do for pretty much all aspects of my life. I'm thinking specifically of homeschooling here, where I will sit down with my kids at the end of each month and kind of go through the things that worked and the things that didn't, and what we need to change for the month ahead. So then February starts, and you're going to have the same layout: prepare well, your monthly calendar, brainstorm your month, your tending list, and then your month in review. And then that is how it goes right through March as well. And then we get into April. And April is the first month where we see the refresh. The seasonal refresh is one of the biggest reasons I get the yearly planner from Cultivate What Matters instead of the 6-month undated planner that they usually come out with, after 2021 starts. The seasonal refresh is a great way to refresh your goals. Surprise, surprise. But the 90-day goal setting that I referred to before from the 12-week year really comes in handy for these goal refreshes. So first you're going to have the Cultivated Life Evaluation Check-in, which they did have this before, but again, it was a 2-page spread, so it doesn't give you as much space to write out anything unless you're writing really small. I do wish that there was a little bit more space for this because I do tend to write down quite a bit, and I do try to write pretty small, but having the space to write down how you think you're doing in all of these areas is an important thing for me. And then you're going to have try this at home, wish you had an extra 24 hours in the week. And it talks about how everybody has the same 168 hours and you get to choose what you're going to do with those hours. Nobody else gets to choose that for you. And just making the decision, those active decisions instead of passive decisions about how you're going to use your time. Prep work refresh. What I'm saying yes to this quarter, what I'm saying no to this quarter. Keep moving forward. What goal do you feel stuck on? What is holding you back from moving forward? What would have to change for you to move forward on this goal? And what might happen if you did move forward? What might happen if you didn't? This page is in each of the seasonal refreshes. This page is different for each of the seasonal refreshes. Then it has space for your refreshed goals. You can either choose new goals, you can move your goals forward. This is a great space to update your goals. If you figure out, oh, well, I had this one goal, but now it doesn't really fit. I'm thinking specifically of this year when I did when I did my goals for the year. We were in another house. It was pre-COVID, and we did not think we were going to move or sell our house or anything. So my goals for 2020 were completely different in December than even, by March. So you can write out your new goals, and then this is a new addition this year. It is sort of mini action plans, I guess. So you would write down your yearly goal and your mini goal and the action steps that go with it. I think this is a really great addition to the planner this year because those action plans are a great way to flesh out what your goal is. Sometimes your goal can be so big you don't know where to start, or it can be not as concrete, maybe more of a feeling goal. And so trying to figure out what works for that particular goal can take a little while. So having these action steps and converting your goals into mini goals, I think is a really, really great idea. So you go through your 8 yearly goals with your mini goals and action steps, and then you move into April. Once you get to July, you're going to get to your next refresh, your summer refresh. And so you're going to move into, again, the Cultivated Life Evaluation Check-in. This is the same as the spring refresh. And then you're going to come to try this at home. Are you having fun with your goals? This quarter, challenge yourself to have more fun with your goals, and then how I'll add more fun to my goals. And then over on this side, prep work, refresh, what's firing me up right now? And you can just make a list of things that are really encouraging you or that are making you want to work harder, etc. And then this keep moving forward, this is the same as in the spring refresh. Then my refreshed goals, again, you can choose new goals or you can choose the same goals, rolling them forward if you're working on one large goal. And then you'll move into the action plans and mini goal section where you'll write your yearly goal and then the mini goal that you want to work on for this quarter. And then you'll move into July's regular plan. Then you're going to come to the fall refresh, which is behind the October tab. And again, cultivated life evaluation, and then try this at home. Want to unhurry your life, spend more time in the analog world. On their own, our phones are neutral tools and they can be a wonderful way to connect, learn, and get inspired. But we've never seen anyone write spend more time on Instagram on her PowerSheets. So this gives you a way to check off the things that you want to do, some productive things to get you off of the social media and make more progress on your goals. And then prep work refresh, people I'm grateful for right now. You keep moving forward, refreshed goals, action plans, and then October. And then finally, you will come to the 2021 year in review. This gives you a chance to jot down important things that happened. And in this section, it asks different questions to help you write down all of the good things that happened throughout the year. Favorite memory, best thing I read, best new habit, person I'm most grateful for, most memorable adventure, song on repeat, milestones, best meal, biggest change, goal progress that most surprised me, most beautiful sight I saw, and then best blank. And so that is how the PowerSheets end for each year. There is a year in review, and then you get to move to 2022. So this year, I think if you buy during launch, you get this cute little pin. What does it say? Growing good things with a little flower bouquet. And then I did get this new sticker book this year. I love stickers. I don't always use them, but I do love to have them. So I will flip through that for you. I love that there are stickers for color coding, and these are the ones that I use most often because I color code everything, and when there is a sticker, it just makes it a little bit easier for me. And actually, this year they do have markers, color coding markers that you can purchase. I did not get them. I have a particular pen set that I already use and love. So I'm a creature of habit, so I will probably not use any markers for color coding, but I do love the stickers for color coding. And these are color coding dots, which you probably can't see. And then hearts, celebrate progress, keep track. These are I made progress stickers, hooray I did it. And that is the end. I hope you really enjoyed that walkthrough. I did want to take a couple of minutes and go through some of the changes that I am most excited about for the new PowerSheets. And I think the biggest change that I liked is that there are places for action plans for each seasonal refresh. The reason that I really like that is because I think I mentioned this several times in the walkthrough itself, is the book, The 12-Week Year, which I read several years ago, and that really solidified in my mind the whole 90-day goal setting plan. like I said, run my years by a theme, which tends to be my word of the year. And so having goals associated with my word is important, but figuring out an overarching goal for the entire year was something that was challenging when I first started using the PowerSheets 5 or 6 years ago. It was hard for me to think, what does this goal look like at completion? And so when I read the 12-week year and saw 90-day goal setting in action, it really helped me make more progress on my goals. I also love that they have streamlined the prep work. I know a lot of people struggle with the prep work because it is so much. I think there are 8 fewer pages this year of prep work. I love all of that introspection, but I know that it can be challenging for some people. I think I probably will try and go through the prep work on camera with you guys so that you can see my process on goal planning. Goals are so personal. That's why I don't typically share them. But I do see the value in sharing how I go through the process. So I will probably be doing that in a couple of months when I get closer to setting goals for 2021. But my biggest piece of advice is to go slowly through it. Take 20 minutes in the morning to go through a couple of pages at a time. Don't spend one day and do it all. A lot of people can do that. In fact, Cultivate Your Year Live is specifically for that purpose, to go through all of the prep work and have your goals set in one day. For me personally, that's too overwhelming. I need more time to process through things. And my mood definitely has a big part of that. If I am not in the greatest mood or something is going on at home, it's harder for me to process through things quickly. But that is an option if that's something that you think that you would enjoy doing. And they are doing an online conference this year, which I think is amazing. And it's very inexpensive for what you're getting, to go through the PowerSheets with Laura Casey and go through step by step on how to plan out your goals. So I will leave a link for that in the description box if that's something that you're interested in. I think that 2021 is going to be different for all of us. I know with COVID, everything is so up in the air and different right now. I'm recording this before the US election, so that could change many things. This year has been hard for a lot of people. It's also been really good in a lot of ways, but it has been challenging. And so I think going through all of the prep work and really working through your feelings on how this last year went is going to be a good thing. I think that it will help you see some of the progress that you made. Even if you didn't think that you were making progress, you probably did make a little bit of progress. And that is the name of the game, a little bit of progress. That's how we accomplish our goals, a little bit at a time. So I am super excited. I really am super excited about the new PowerSheets. It's one of my favorite parts of the year, to be able to go through and do that yearly evaluation and figure out the things that matter most to me, because while my family always matters the most to me and my relationship with God, the little things tend to change. I am able to see things a little bit clearly. Every year that I get older, I see things a little more clearly. I think that is normal. So thank you so much for watching. I am going to leave links for everything that I can think of down in the description box below. I know that there are bundles that you can purchase, and those tend to sell out because based on which cover you want, sometimes one cover is more popular than another. So I will leave links for all of that. I am going to do a giveaway, which I will have that information below. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a super short giveaway or if it's going to be maybe a week. I was hoping to get this video and everything done a little bit earlier than I did. So I wanted to release it to you guys a little bit earlier. So I will have a giveaway. It will be for a gift card, so you can purchase whatever you want from Cultivate What Matters. You can find that in the description box below. I hope that you are enjoying the last few months of 2020 and that you are looking forward to a great year ahead. So leave me any questions that you have and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks, guys. Bye.